Hey guys, welcome back to Rooted Hearts Homestead. I am excited to start sharing our life with you again, and today we're going to jump right in with my current project, which is a rabbit hutch. So, I realized our rabbits needed a place where they were easily mobile. And the rabbits that I'm talking about are actually the ones out in the field, not the ones in the colony. The colony works so well and we absolutely love it. But the rabbits in the field, the hut that they're in, my daughter can't move by herself, and I needed something that she could move or I could move by myself, and it didn't require two adults to move. So that's where this comes in. What I've done is I've set up a 3-foot by 5-foot structure that we'll put wheels on. It's got a bottom on it. It'll be completely surrounded on the sides, and then the top will just be something simple. I'm not sure what yet, but it'll be accessible for her to get into and redo their food and water. But she'll be able to move them forward every day, maybe even twice a day, depending on how many rabbits are in there. And it'll allow us a second thing, which is to split up our male and female rabbits, because it'll allow us to have 2 outside pens. So come along with me while I finish working on this. I'm using a powered stapler. This is something that I have found recently and I absolutely love it. It makes such a difference with my hands, and because I'm milking every day now, my hands get stiff and sore if I'm doing a lot of stapling. So the power stapler helps immensely, and I'm able to put in the staples both vertically and horizontally into the hardware cloth that I am putting them in. The reason why I want to put them in both vertically and horizontally is so the hardware cloth can't shift around. If I just have them in horizontally, the hardware cloth could go up and down a bit, and if I just have them in, it could shift side to side. The idea with having it both vertical and horizontal stops that shifting from happening so that I get a better, stronger fit. So what I've done with this rabbit hutch is to put chicken wire on the bottom so that the rabbits can still munch and pull through the pasture that they're in, and then the hardware cloth on the side so that we can put like the bottles that attach on the outside of the pen on that, and it also just, I feel like, beefs it up a little bit. It's not as soft and bendable as the chicken wire. Where chicken wire works for a lot of things, it doesn't always work for rabbits. So I like to have both the hardware cloth and the chicken wire. On the bottom, the chicken wire works, but on the sides, the hardware cloth is just better for the rabbits because things can't get to them. Let's say a raccoon or something decided to reach through there. The way their hut is built, they'll have a little hidey hole, but not all the rabbits like going in that at night. guys. So I had a root canal yesterday, so I'm still kind of healing from that. I'm in a lot of pain actually today. Not as much as I was in before I got the root canal, but I feel like somebody punched me in this section of my mouth and it's painful. But that's why I didn't video yesterday. I did get the rabbit pen finished, so that's done. I'm going to show you guys real quick what we did there. But I just want to talk about one of the most used tools in my household, and that is my Instapot. I probably use this once a day at least, sometimes twice a day, and sometimes with the same meal. I'm cooking dry beans, making rice, cooking meat from frozen. All of it is amazing to use that for. So just if you're looking for one piece of equipment that you guys can get to be able to further your skills in what you're doing, learn how to use the Instapot. It just is a time saver for a big family like mine. I can make rice and I can leave it, I can forget it, and it doesn't burn on me, which is something that's huge, especially since we are mostly gluten-free and we don't eat as much gluten, so we eat more rice. Because I got a root canal this week, my goals, I'm keeping them pretty simple. As with any week in homesteading, I have to do stuff. It doesn't matter if I've had a root canal or I'm sick or anything, you have to get things done. But summer is winding down, and one of the big things I'm doing with summer winding down is I took a break from canning, but I still have a ton of tomatoes. So what do you do with the tomatoes when you have this many and you don't want to spend your time canning because you're doing family things, which is this week is a family week. We have extended family in and we're doing a family reunion. So what do? Well, for me, I wash them, put them in freezer Ziplocs, and I pop them in the freezer. What this allows me to do is, like, later on, even in months down the road, I can pull them out, roast them again, put them through my food mill, and cook them down and make sauce, but it doesn't have to be all right now. One of the things with canning and canning season is doing a little bit at a time all through the season helps you not feel as burnt out as, like, 2 days worth of canning would. But you hit a point and you're like, ugh, I just want to be done. And I've kind of hit that point. And so I'm letting my body tell me, hey, you need a break from canning so much. And I'm still able to put things in the freezer and put stuff up for winter. It just looks a little different. Instead of it being me canning and putting it on the shelf, I'm putting it in the freezer to go ahead and can later. But it's all prepped and ready to go for me. There's no stems on it. There's no dirt on it. So I've taken step 1 and completed that for canning, and then just waited for steps 2 and 3. This helps me keep my sanity during canning season. So after lunch, I'm going to work on that and get that going. So I'll show you a little bit of what that looks like. Anything that is split like this, I am going to just pass on to the pigs if it's really bad, and the rest of it will get washed and put into the freezer. Even though this one is really nasty looking, there's nothing actually wrong with it, and there shouldn't be any bugs in it, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in the to freeze pile, whereas this one has bugs in it, so it's going to go to the pigs. Now the tomatoes are pretty clean, I'm going to let them sit here, I'm going to let them drain just a little bit, and then I'm going to put them in baggies and get them ready for the freezer. because I know I'm just going to pull these out again once the weather cools down and we're no longer in the midst of picking, I'm not even going to bother to date them. I'm just going to pop them in my freezer and I'll take care of them later. I'm going to get the rest of the tomatoes behind me in these baskets taken care of, and yeah, that pretty much wraps up our week. Thanks for coming along while we did all of our different things, and I hope you enjoyed seeing them. Until next week.